All right, let's take a look at what we're doing today. Journaling our trades. Now, as you can see, 240-minute chart, 4-hour chart, we have a nice bullish candle here. The day chart is going up as well in a bull market. You see this day right here? Beautiful day. Why not go long? Exactly. Bullish market overall, bullish candle for the day, bullish hour chart, right? Here we go. It's up over all the moving averages, right? And bullish 10,000 tick chart. Everything's bullish, right? Here we go. So we had, as you can see right here on the 15-minute chart, how it spiked up right here. We had some good news on the CPI report, okay? So I'm going long, okay? And the way I look at it is I'm willing to bet $250 that it continues to go up. And what I'm doing here is I am putting my stop. If we could take a look at the day chart here, my stop is under the low of this candle. Literally, my stop is way down here under the low. Okay, so it's going to have to, something massive is going to have to happen. And that's only a $250 risk on one micro. One micro. That's why I like to trade small size, give it plenty of room to move. And if it can, and right now we're already up $78 on that trade, and I'm taking two different accounts. I'm long on both accounts. So we'll see what happens. Everything's lining up perfect. The stars are lining up. It's a blessing. It's a grace. Thank you. Thank you. And these are the best days to trade, when everything's lining up. That doesn't mean it's going to guaranteed to work. But when you have all those elements confluencing, then you have to overcome the fear, and you have to go long. Now, in time of trading, you will understand that every good possible trade can fail. It can. There's a potential to fail. You have to overcome the frustration and the temptation to move your stop or to add to a losing trade. I will not do that. This is where it's going to stay. The biggest thing that I've learned over the course of the last 8 to 10 months of trading, since April, doing these eval accounts, the biggest thing that I've learned over the course of my trading life is establish the amount I'm willing to risk, and don't change your stop loss. Keep your stop loss in place. It doesn't matter if it loses. It doesn't matter. Take the loss like a man. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And I'm going to tell you, I was laying in bed last night thinking, I think I'm finally getting this trading thing. And that, in time, with consistency, the strategy that I have, if I enter good trade setups where all the confluences are together agreeing, there's a commonality in the trade, all the forces are working in one direction, in time, the system will work, by the grace of God, of course. But anyway, I'm going to let you know how it goes. Now, if I come back here in a second and I've stopped out, I'm not going to let that bother me, and people can laugh. But those people that are laughing will never make it in trading if they don't understand the principles of trading, and that is risk management. Don't move your stop, and find a strategy that is half decent. Okay, so let's see how this works out. Okay, it's working. I closed one of the trades. Typically I get 50% of what I lose, but I have a high win rate. So did better this time though, and closed my paid account, the PA account, not that one. Did I close that one? No, I want to close this one. Anyway, I closed one of them. I closed the eval right here as soon as it hit the highs that I was looking for. But let's see, technically, I don't even think that was 1-to-1, because, no, it wasn't, because right here, I got to get 1-to-1 on this. If it gets to over 21.64, I could take the profits now. The last thing you want to see. This is where fear starts kicking in. But it is trending so nicely and could keep going. You never know how far these things can go. As long as it holds above that white line that's there, because that's a previous day's high, and we want it to stay above previous day's high. So if it stays above this line right here, previous day's high, that would be extremely bullish. So I ended up closing one of the accounts. I closed the wrong account. But in the end, if it keeps going, it would have been a good accident. So I'll let you know what happens with this second trade, because this is all I'm going to do. I'll be so grateful if both of these are good, strong winners today, believe me. Okay. Just a quick note here, something that I definitely need to put in the old journal here. And that's when a winner is running, don't get in its way. Don't get in the way of your winners and stop them from winning. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So 1-to-1 is, I really want to hit 1-to-1. That's a 1 risk to 1 reward, which is better than normal for me. But if I could ever get 2 or 3-to-1, then I know I'm really starting to have some massive breakthroughs in my psychology and emotions and professionalism and strategy, and everything just ticks up and everything's getting stronger. So I really hope that this trade wins, but I hope that it gets more than 1-to-1 also. Okay, another interesting note here. I'm sitting back watching it correct a little bit here, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Let's watch what happens. It's beautiful art. I entered way down here. Let's see what happens. It was started to come down. I mean, we could see this price parachute down, right? I mean, we could see it bungee jump all the way down. And I'm thinking, okay, I did kind of get up pretty close to my 1-to-1 return. Do I really want to take a loss on this trade? And I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't. I'm going to come up a little higher. I'm going to come up actually to underneath this pivot a little bit here. Because it might want to come down and even sweep that pivot, do something ridiculous like that. I'm just going to move my stop here for now. Now that could be a genius thing to do, but what's not going to happen is I'm not going to take a full loss, and I'm holding it longer. Let's see, what are the good benefits of that? Just I'm cutting the risk out. I'm cutting some of the risk out, and I think that would be a good call, even if it comes down, because if it keeps going, it's coming down to this area here, right? So I don't want to ride it from here back down to here and lose all that. If I'm going to buy it again, I want to wait for it to come back down and see what happens in this area here and these areas down here, those 2 areas of high interest. We could see price come down to where it starts to take off and touch this tip. That happens sometimes. I mean, it depends on what it does. It could do anything it wants to do. It is price action. But I just wanted to raise my risk and judge this movement the way I think it's being judged properly. Don't get in the way. Don't get in the way of letting it run. Bring your stop loss, reduce your risk, but keep your risk back far enough to let the thing run. And I think that if I can judge that right, then I have a really good strategy on my hands, because I really want to get positive on my accounts. I got about another $55, and I'll have brought this account back from $500 negative, and I will be break even again on it though, but at least break even and covering my losses. And in the other account, actually altogether, this account is positive about $500. So it's actually a winning strategy so far from what I've been able to back test. All right, let's see how the trade finishes then. Okay, it's testing the previous day's high, which is an important thing to look at on the day chart. It's falling back down below. See, it went up over the high of this previous day, and then it reversed. If it goes up over the high of the previous day and reverses, then we don't want to lose money on this trade. So I'd rather break even on this trade. If it keeps going down and does something crazy to the downside, I don't want to lose a full loss on this. I was up $200 at one point, and I'm not going to take a loss on this trade. I just won't. If I do, it's going to be a smaller loss, because I'm going to make it really just break down in an undeniable way, which if it breaks down below this pivot and then keeps going, I would say this trade's dead. Some people might say it's dead much higher up than that. I'm just going to give it some room. This is an area of interest of bouncing. So I don't necessarily want to ignore that either. So if it goes past that area, then yeah, I would think that we have definitely need to be out of the trade. We don't want to keep losing money forever. And my limit is $250, and I've just reduced it down to like $65, $80. So that's a win-win too. I mean, if you can reduce your risk reasonably and intelligently, meaning you know that that trade's wrong now, right? Yeah, it's wrong. Then why are you still in it? I don't care if it's hit 250 or not. Get out of it. You don't have to lose 250. The trade's wrong when it breaks this structure right here for me, like I said. When it breaks this structure and keeps going, that's where my stop's at. I'm not going to hold it beyond that. So hopefully it'll keep going and actually turn my red account green, which would be a beautiful comeback, and I'd be very excited to see that. So hopefully that's what's going to happen here. Okay, another entry. Now that it's performed this off previous day's high, I feel a lot more confident that it's going to stay up over the previous day's high, which is extremely bullish. This area as support bounce area is looking more to me like this area here now has moved up, where it could bounce anywhere in that area. So I can bring my stop to break even now. And that's what I did. My stop is now at break even. So this is not going to lose money. Even if it closes with $50 profit, it'll still be profitable. I'm going to keep raising this too, by the way. I'm going to keep raising it to reasonable rates. If it puts in some structure like this and moves up higher again, I will raise my stop to this level right here. I think would be perfectly safe. Even if it does some wild, crazy stuff, I think I'm safe in that area. So let's see how that goes as an idea. Okay, another interesting idea. We don't know what price is going to do. And it looks like it's heading to the top of that. For all-time highs, MNQ, the micro for the NASDAQ, and that white line is over here on this chart. You know what I'm saying? And over here on the 15-minute chart, it's up here. So it looks like it wants to take that out. Yes, so don't get in the way of the trade. And I have now brought that once $500 down account up to green territory. And I can close this out in an emotional happiness. Or I could follow my simple idea of don't get in the way of the trade. Don't stop it from running. And you stop your trade from running when you close it, right? And so it's very tempting to close it when it's turning red, but we also get tempted to close it when it's turning green because we're excited about something or we're happy with the profit. And it's the reason, and taking it off is not a bad idea, really. But you might wish you did take it off a couple of times earlier, but that's not the point. The point is, if it's green and it's going, don't get in the way of it. Don't close it too early, and reduce your risk. Those are the two things that you have to just do. All right, don't close it too early, and don't get in the way of it, and just keep reducing your risk to a reasonable rate, and try to let it run. And sometimes you'll hit it, sometimes you won't. All right, I raised my stop a little bit further. I'm going to hold this area right here. Well, you know, the whole area from there to there, from up here to here, is anywhere. It could bounce in any of those areas. Certainly here, but I don't really want it to fall that far down anymore. So I'm going to go to the next grouping of candles and go with that and see if this area is the lowest, and I'll keep it right underneath that structure, and I won't lose more than that, and I'll be green. This will be a winning trade. And my normal return is 50% of the risk. So I'm risking more. I'm losing more than I'm winning. But we want to increase that as well. We don't want to just, we want to get that higher up in number. So it's wanting that high, I know it is, and we're just going to let it run. And I'm green, and if I fall red a little bit, that's okay, but we'll still win on this trade, and I thank God for that. Okay, I closed it. I was over 1 to 1 and I closed it. And I'm done. I'm out of the trade. And I'm very happy. Both accounts were winners and I am grateful. So, yes, exciting. What could I have done better? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. This could be a brilliant close or it could be an excellent close. Or I don't think it's a blunder of a close because I'm up and I'm happy about that. So it's, you never know. So let's see what happens. Maybe it crashes, maybe it keeps going, but whatever, I'm still happy with what happened. This is a good trading day for me. Thank you, thank you. All right, it's still going, so I could have stayed in it, but that doesn't matter. I still am happy with what I did.